So, I don't know. I think that the pool should have been in the back.
But we have a cover for it. And it ties down.
Yeah, I know, but it would have been better if you put that in the backyard, not in the front yard where a bunch of random people driving by the road, like looking at you swimming and then blowing up a big shark balloon.
Well, I'm also getting a sign that says play at your own risk.
You need a fence around that. You need a fence, they said.
That's why we have a cover and it ties down so no one can get hurt.
Oh.
So, I know everybody said no filter, but tonight I have to have a filter. I look like crap. I'm tired. Went for a long motorcycle ride. But anyway, on to it. Gabby. Why must I always have to come on and educate you? First and foremost, who puts a fucking pool in their front yard when they have a backyard that's fenced in, mind you? Why, on God's green earth, would you put it there for the whole world who drives by your home to see? Number one. Number two, your landlord's okay with that? And I think probably not. Number three, because there's so many. How did you afford that? Because I saw the size. It's a pretty big pool. Length and width, depth, whatever you want to call it. That's got to be upwards $400 or $500. Weren't you just on here complaining you didn't have any money? And now you're selling the swing that you just got for him? And, you know, your card wasn't working to get your son school shoes? Another dry bag, by the way. Don't worry, we caught on to that. Some idiot will buy it, if they haven't already. But lastly, because I'm not going to get into all of it. If you guys want to watch the full video, go to Reddit, Scissor Sisters. You can see it there. The downright ignorance in your statements when your sister is questioning you or reading what the comments state about how, one, the pool should have been put in the backyard. Common sense for so many reasons. The biggest one is, what about all these children? And don't tell me a 7 or an 8-year-old can definitely swim, because I'll tell you what, my 10 and 11-year-old, I want to change it, but they both can't swim on their own. You mean to tell me your excuse was, oh, well, we have a cover for it, and that's why we have it tied down? And then I think your sister said something about, what about kids drowning or something? And you said, well, that's why we're going to put a sign, play at your own risk. You truly are fucking delusional, aren't you? You have to be. That's got to be the only explanation. It's got to be. You mean to tell me that if a 7, 8, 9-year-old kid comes by, sees a pool, you're up all hours of the night, so I can see why you'd probably not think that this would happen, but, you know, that kid comes by and says, hey, I want to go swimming. And they untie that. It's not that hard to do, Gabby. They untie it. They decide to hop in for a nice little swim. And they drown. Do you think your little play at your own risk sign is going to stop you from being charged? Do you think the fact that you got a fucking pool cover and tied it down, as you state? Why must you be so incredibly irresponsible and not put it behind your house, where most people can't see it? What in the fuck is wrong with you? I don't care for your sister either, but at least she's got a little bit more common sense when it comes to stuff like that. And she doesn't even have kids. Thank God. But again, the apparent ignorance that just comes out of your mouth. And I know that you really believe in what you're saying. You really do. I can tell by the tone in your voice and the way it just flows off your tongue. You truly believe that tying it down, putting a cover on, tying it down, and putting a fucking sign that says play at your own risk is going to stop every child, even adult. What if a drunk adult comes by? What if a bunch of teenagers come by and they're wasted and they decide to go for a swim? Or they're on something else, substances like you take? What if they're on something else and something happens and they drown in your pool? You're going to be held responsible. And that's the way it should be. Because this is negligence. 100%. And if I knew who your landlord was, you bet your bottom dollar. I don't do real life. I don't believe in it. But this would be saving someone's life, especially a child. So you bet your bottom dollar, if I ever do get a hold of your landlord's number, if you don't decide to sell the pool next week, because we know how you love to do that, I'll be giving that fucking landlord a call. And if they say, oh, it's okay to have it in the front yard, blah, 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 I'm going to tell them your little excuses. And if they still defend you, which I highly doubt they will, because that's their insurance policy on the line as well. Don't know if you know that. Just because you're renting doesn't mean they're off the hook. That's their property. So I doubt very much they're going to be A-okay with it being where it's at. You just never cease to amaze me. And the amount of people that support your dumbass blows my mind. Your little wish list comment and stuff, It just, and they just buy it. And it doesn't matter if it's $300-$400. I don't even think I have anything on my wish list that's $300 or $400. I think the most is the kids' things that are like maybe a toy that's like $30. You come on and you complain that you have no money day after day after day. It's not going through. I can't even get his shoes and blah, 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 blah. But then the next day you got a fucking pool with a blow-up shark. Man. And then the last thing that I do have to say is I watched a video where you and your sister were in a live yesterday, I believe it was. And I had a long, busy day. So I didn't actually even come on TikTok. I saw it on Reddit, but I didn't even go on TikTok at all last night. Or yesterday at all. You should try it sometime. Anyway, where was I? You stated in the live that you're a single mother. So, actually, you know what? I'm going to make a different video on that. Because I'm going to go find that part where you stated that. Because whoever knows where you live, if they do want to go to real life, really ought to be giving the welfare office down there a nice little call. And playing them that video. So, I'll be sure to find that. And why? Like I say, I don't normally go real life. But why? Because you're frauding the system. You're frauding people out of their hard-earned money. You're a horrible mother. But now you're putting other people's innocent lives in danger because of your lack of responsibility. You are super irresponsible. Grow the fuck up. Get off the app. Learn how to be a mother and a better person while you're at it. I doubt any of those things will happen.